and review the facts for themselves. 44 Senate Democrats voted to reject a clean, nonpartisan continuing funding resolution to keep the United States government open.
If fighting to reduce the cost of health care and avoid a coming catastrophe is not worth fighting for, then I don't know what is.
After weeks of negotiations, the federal government is shut down. Democrats and Republicans could not agree on a spending deal before a midnight deadline.
In total, as many as 4 million federal employees and service members could go without pay. Hundreds of thousands have been deemed essential and forced to work anyways. Thank you for joining us. It's noon. I'm Jessica Brown.
And I'm Antoinette Antonio. We do have team coverage looking at this first government shutdown since 2018, including the local impact. ABC's Olivia Rubin starts us off.
Today, Democrats and Republicans arriving on Capitol Hill to a bitter stalemate. Last night, Republicans advancing a bill to temporarily fund the government, but only 2 Democrats joined them, so it failed to pass.
There's still time for Democrats to pass this clean bipartisan bill that's sitting before them, and we encourage our Democrat colleagues to do that.
Democrats' own bill shot down by Republicans, too. They're holding out support until Republicans reverse Medicaid cuts they pushed through in the so-called Big Beautiful Bill and extend Affordable Health Care Act tax credits to stop health care premiums from going up for millions.
Democrats are united in our resolve to make sure that we cancel the cuts. We're in the midst of an incredible crisis, a health care crisis that Republicans have caused.
But there's no sign Republicans will budge either. The question now, how long can this last?
Republicans control the Senate, the House, and the White House. They must have a plan to solve this.
And this morning, the White House putting $18 billion worth of funding for New York City infrastructure on hold.
We can do things during the shutdown that are irreversible, that are bad for them and irreversible by them.
With every passing day, the effects of the shutdown expected to worsen. Hundreds of thousands of employees furloughed. Up to 4 million federal workers could go without pay, including the military. Workers deemed essential, like TSA employees, forced to work without pay.
Child care does not take IOUs. Gasoline does not take IOUs. Your house payments do not take IOUs.
And with lawmakers back on Capitol Hill this morning, there is more finger pointing than there is problem solving. The last shutdown was 7 years ago and lasted 35 days. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, Capitol Hill.
The shutdown is not just causing problems in Washington. Here in Massachusetts, many federal workers won't see their paychecks, and local nonprofits won't see federal funds. Our Todd Kaskiewicz spoke with them and joins us live now with more. Todd?
Antoinette, there's a lot of frustration and a lot of uncertainty, and the shutdown in Washington also means a shutdown of important institutions like the JFK Library and other important landmarks across the country. Local impact of the government shutdown is seen at the library that honors a former head of American government. The JFK Presidential Library and Museum is one of many federal facilities that is now temporarily shuttered.
Not passed.
The shutdown of the federal government means that about 750,000 federal workers around the country will be furloughed, while others, including TSA officers, will likely have to work without pay for now.
The government shutdown just adds to the burden that's on the local food pantry system right now.
At the Greater Boston Food Bank, they're preparing for the possibility of even greater demand in the near future, knowing from the experience of past government shutdowns that some federal workers and contractors may very well have to turn to their local food pantry to put food on the table, depending on the duration of the shutdown.
So you could see several thousand people needing to go to food pantries, depending on how much money they have saved or what other resources they have.
Some agencies are continuing to do business temporarily, like the IRS, which operates this campus in Andover. The National Treasury Employees Union says 1,300 of its members work here. There's funding to pay IRS employees nationwide for 5 business days. The president of the local chapter of the union says there's uncertainty for employees and taxpayers.
If you call the 800-829-1040 telephone number and there is a shutdown where the IRS is not funded, there's no guarantee that those telephone calls will be answered, wondering where your refund is, if your amended tax return has been processed.
And here at the JFK Library and Museum, everything is closed to the public for however long the shutdown lasts. Reporting live in Dorchester, Todd Kiskiewicz, WCVB News Center 5.
Tom, thank you.